I'm Frank Gifford. Professional football has no more enduring legend than the story of George Halas, the boss of the Chicago Bears. The man who was there when the NFL was born 47 years ago has stayed around to star in the whole parade of pro football's history. His Bears may not always win, but nobody ever beats them in turning out exciting, smashing football. The teams of George Halas nearly always include a superstar, a player so great that only a handful of men can be mentioned with him. As everyone knows who has ever played against them or seen them, the Bears of Chicago neither give nor expect any quarter. Week in, week out, they come to play ball. Something you can't miss in this first unreeling of their star-filled moments of 1966.
It was a long time ago when 12 men met in the showroom of an automobile agency in Canton, Ohio, and founded the National Football League. Of the dozen men who sat and planned and sweated on that summer night in September, only one remains. He is George Halas, owner and coach of a team which played as the Decatur Staleys in 1920 and has played ever since as the Chicago Bears. In the time that George Halas has been coaching the Bears, there have been 9 presidents of the United States. He has directed the Bears to more victories than any other team in pro football and 8 world championships. He has made the word Bears synonymous with the roughest football in the world.
All right, look, right here, line them up.
George Halas is a man dedicated to the fundamentals of the game.
Left, pow, 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 pow. Right, 3, set, 4, 8, 5. Hut 1, hut 2. All right.
Through the hot summer training sessions, he builds his team on men who can play all-out, total football.
Oh, no. Hut 2, hut 2.
And everybody goes there.
Hut 1, hut 2. That's all on this one. Let's go to the next period.
Good workout. That'll win a count. Way to go.
The Bears are intensely proud of their past, and the current edition fits the traditional mold perfectly, a tradition of basic, bone-bending football. This is how the Chicago Bears play the game. After a slow start in 1966, the Chicago Bears found the winning habit. In the fourth game of the season, Coach George Halas and his Bears are confronted with the explosive Baltimore Colts. Invaders have always found Wrigley Field a tough stadium for a victory. In '66, the story was the same, as the Bears were victorious in all but one contest. In the first quarter, the Bear offense unleashes the incomparable Gale Sayers. A quick slant pass to split end Jimmy Jones nets 45 yards and sets up the first Chicago score. When the drive is halted, Roger LeClaire boots the Bears into a 3-0 lead. Colt quarterback Johnny Unitas misplays the center snap. Linebacker Joe Fortunato converts the fumble into 7 points and a 10-0 Bear advantage. The second quarter was a defensive struggle. When the Colts mounted their only serious drive of the first half, Chicago cornerback Benny McRae stole a Unitas pass from Jimmy Orr in the end zone and ran the Bears out of trouble. McRae's second interception came at the end of the first half and helped to secure the Bears' 10-3 lead. In the second half, the Bear offense and Gale Sayers became viable instruments of excitement. Behind number 72, Jim Cadill's fine trap block, Sayers wheeled through left tackle for a 30-yard touchdown that vaulted the Bears ahead 17-3. Later in the third period, the Colt defense found the Bear ground attack virtually unstoppable. Number 29, Ronnie Bull, and number 21, John Arnett, slashed through the Colts behind the Mobile Bear offensive line. LeClaire's second field goal puts the game out of reach at the end of the third quarter. The last Bear touchdown also came on the ground. Ronnie Bull's 6-yard plunge set the stage for the volatile Sayers' 6-yard trip to the end zone. The final touchdown shows the effortless ease by which Sayers humbles opponents and excites football fans around the NFL. The 27-17 victory is gratifying to Coach Halas, who looks forward to a second meeting with the Los Angeles Rams, who defeated the Bears in the second game of the season. Before a sellout crowd, the second-place Rams march into Wrigley Field, where they haven't beaten the Bears since 1959. This Sunday will prove no different, as the Bear game plan is stamped with revenge. Fullback Ralph Couric sets the tone of the game with a 12-yard burst off the right side. On a delayed handoff, the elusive Sayers whistles around right in for 25 yards. A quick pass to flanker Dick Gordon sets the stage for place kicker Roger LeClaire. However, his 32-yard field goal effort is blocked. The Bear defense must meet the challenge. Linebacker Jimmy Purnell bats down Roman Gabriel's first pass of the day. Another pass is deflected by Mammoth Doug Atkins, and Dave Whistle intercepts. This time the Bear offense will not be denied. Rudy Bukic triggers the attack with a pass to Sayers, who makes a leaping reception. When Ralph Couric's running lures the Ram defense in, Bukic fools them with a 22-yard bullet to Jim Jones at the flag. And that touchdown is worth a 7-0 Bear lead at the end of the quarter. The Rams retaliate almost immediately as the scooter Dick Bass ties the game at 7-7. The Rams make the fatal mistake of booting the ball to Sayers on the ensuing kickoff. Now watch this. The Windy City Whippet rockets 97 yards to a touchdown and a lead the Bears never relinquished to the Rams. The last Bear score of the half was a vivid example of ball control offense and the multiplicity of Sayers' talent. When the hole was opened, he was dazzling in a conventional manner. When the paths to glory were clogged, he found a new way to torture the frustrated Ram defenders. The Rams stacked for the run, so Bukic passed them dizzy with quick passes to bullish receivers such as number 89, Mike Ditka, or flaring backs like Ralph Couric. With only 6 seconds left in the half, LeClaire salvaged 3 points with a field goal. Protecting a 17-10 lead, the tough Bear defense had to dominate the second half, and they did. Ram runners were inundated by swarms of gang-tackling Bears. A harassed Gabriel found no outlet for his desperate swing passes. The unrelenting Chicago defense trampled the beleaguered Gabriel, and the Ram attack was stymied. Even field goal attempts were thwarted as every Ram effort to tie the game was neutralized. When the clock ticked off the final seconds, the Bears had gained their 3rd victory of the season and a measure of revenge against the Rams. The 1967 Chicago Bears story is contained mostly in one word: defense. parts formed that one element. Parts like McRae and Pettibone and Dick Evey. No one escaped the Bears' bludgeon. The National Football League's most valuable player was handled recklessly by Mr. Evey and friends. This is the eye of a hurricane. Whoever said it was calm never has met Dick Butkus. Number 73, Frank Cornish, is destruction personified. Ed Obradovich is 6'3" and 225 pounds. He chases quarterbacks. He'd like to score touchdowns, too. Who wouldn't? While 67 was the year of the defense, any team with Gale Sayers has to have its moments of offensive brilliance. This 103-yard kickoff return by Sayers was the longest scoring play of any kind in Bears history. When it got down to the hardcore of winning games or of coming very close, once again it was hard-hitting defense that told the story. The 97th meeting of the National Football League's oldest rivals occurred early in the season at Green Bay. It was a typical Packers-Bears struggle. Few stars emerged. Hard-nosed, grudging, head-knocking football was what the fans saw. But if the Packers had one star, it was Jim Grabowski, who carried the ball more times than any other Packer ever in one game, and for the first time in his career, gained more than 100 yards rushing. Coach George Halas counted with his great runner, too. The inimitable Gale Sayers ended the season as the league's third leading rusher. His fluid, agile moves are matched by none. The pressure of the battle in the trenches was reflected in the secondary's perfection. Bart Starr was intercepted more times in this one game than in the entire 1966 season. This particular 35-yard interception by Richie Pettibone was disputed briefly. Our super slow-motion camera is explicit in its veracity. We can see that it was the left forearm of the intended receiver and not the ground that deflected the ball which the alert Pettibone picked up. Pettibone's theft set up the Bears' first score. From the 22-yard line, Mac Percival makes it 10-3 Packers. The veteran Pettibone is to have one of his best years as a pro. After 9 years in the league, Richie is seldom fooled or beaten. But it wasn't a Pettibone interception that led to what was almost the Packers' undoing. Rookie Joe Taylor stopped the Green Bay assault at the Bears' 20 and returned to the 45. Everyone pulls left except flashy Jack Concannon. He keeps the drive on the move by running out of his helmet to the 21. Rarely is Gale Sayers shut out. Today would be no exception. Despite Sayers' greatness, no one man can go it alone. Number 50, Mike Pyle, demonstrates the second effort type blocking which ensures safe passage to the end zone. Bears 10, Packers 10. With only 63 seconds remaining, Don Chandler provided the margin of victory from the 46-yard line. A super scare for the super champions, but scares aren't registered in the win column. After an uncertain start, the Bears found themselves in the second half of the '67 season. They suffered through